Hey, it's Todd Rhoades with ChurchJobs.tv here. Today I want to talk a little bit about when you should really consider leaving your church job. There's been all kinds of excuses given over the years for and rationale for when you decide to stay, when should you decide to leave, and let's just go over a few of those today. Some of these come from Pastor H.B. London from a list that he's published or said at a conference a while back. But here are some. See if these, maybe you're in that situation where you're kind of wondering, should I stay, should I go? Here are some common things that pastors say or church leaders say when they are considering, and they say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to another church. The first one is, look, I'm not making any progress here. And pastoral work and church leadership work can be frustrating at times, and sometimes it just feels like you're not making any kind of progress at all. And that, very well could be the case. You just kind of have to really do a good synopsis of where you are and see if that's really true where you're at. Another thing that I hear a lot of times, not necessarily from lead pastors, but from staff members, is they say, I'm in a situation where I can't really use my gifts. The things that I really like to do, or the things that I feel like I'm really good at, or that I'm spiritually gifted at, I don't have opportunity to use those gifts here. And that can be a concern if you're on a staff and you feel like you're not really in your area of expertise, so you're not doing the things that you like. You can do that for a little bit of time, but for a long period of time, if you don't feel like the position is a good fit for you, it might be time to start considering something different. These last three, though, I think are more kind of emotional reasons. The first one, you might not think so at the beginning, but bear with me here. The third reason a lot of pastors and church leaders say that they want to leave their job or they're considering is because they have some difficult members. And you know what? This is just a horrible, horrible way to make a decision. You know what? Sometimes you have to make a decision because you have either a bad elder or bad board members or just difficult members. But you have to understand, you're going to have difficult members wherever you are. As a pastor and a church leader, it's never a bunch of St. Peters that are, always happy to see you and welcoming and want to do exactly what you want. You're going to have some tough individuals and some tough members and some critics wherever you are. Now, in the position that you're in, I'm telling you, if you're in a bad position, you think it's the end of the world. And sometimes it's really pretty bad. But it's always, I think, a wrong decision to solely base your decision on your critics. That can be one of the factors, but not the only factor. Okay, here are two of the others that I think are emotional. I'll just put these out here all at once. The first is, I really need some affirmation, and I'm not getting any affirmation here. And the second one is, man, I'm just tired, and I need a reset. I need to refresh. Both of these can be absolutely true for pastors and church leaders, but try not to make your decision based on these emotional factors. That you need affirmation. You know what? If you need affirmation where you're at now, in a couple years, wherever you move to, you're going to need that same affirmation. So don't leave just because of that. Also, if you need rest and refreshing, there are some other options, usually, rather than absolutely leaving your church position. Sometimes you have to, but a lot of times you don't. Okay? Does that make sense? Here's some questions to ask. I'm just kind of shooting off the top of my head here. It's probably obvious to you, but here at ChurchJobs.tv, we want to kind of be a personal, relatable place that you can come while you're on a search, or if you're at a church and looking for staff, a place that you can come to get some honest answers on some staffing. Here are some questions that I think you should ask if you are considering leaving your church position. First of all, these questions that I just mentioned, the no progress, I can't use my gifts, there's difficult members, I need some affirmation, and I'm just tired and I need to reset. Here's the first question to ask. Can you address these questions where you're at? Can you address the question of, I'm not making any progress? How can you make some progress? If you can at all answer those questions or address those questions where you're at, I think you should probably try and do so. you need to try and give it the old college try if you haven't already. And I know a lot of you have, and you're hanging by a thread, and you're like, Todd, man, I get that. Here's a second question that you need to ask. And I see this a lot. And I've been a staff member over the years at 3 different churches, and I've been there. So I understand this. Have you actually already left? A lot of pastors stay a lot longer than they should because they've already left. Their heart's not there. Their passion's not there. They want to so be someplace else that they're not giving it their all. And if you've already left, that's one time, from my experience, is probably a good time to leave. Because if your head's not there, you're just biding your time. And that's why you need more affirmation, and you're tired and you need to reset, because you're kind of you've kind of already left. 3 more. I'll go through these really quick. Personal question: How do I normally respond when things get tough? What type of personality are you? Do you normally kind of have a flight? I mean, does from your past, would your friends and your family say, yeah, when something gets bad, he bails, she bails? You need to take into account of your personality too. Should you stay or should you go? Number 4, do I have what it takes to stay? And do I have what it takes to go? Going back up to the 5th question we asked up top, do I need some time for refreshing it? And the question really there is, I'm tired, I need to refresh. Do I have what it takes to do what I have to do here? And the answer is yes or no, but that's a good question to ask. And here's the final consideration. And I know for me and for a lot of people that are in this type of situation, this is probably the real clincher. How does your wife, how does your husband, how does your spouse, how does your family feel about your current position? If you're carrying a lot of baggage and they're carrying a lot of the same baggage with you, there's a good chance that it's probably time to start thinking about moving on. So, should you stay? Should you go? That's a good question, and it's something that there's really no cut or dry answer. But if you've checked out, if you don't think things are going to work out, if your mind is already somewhere else, and if you feel like really that's what God's leading you to do, then absolutely, we're here to help you here at ChurchJobs.tv. We'll help you connect with other church leaders. We'll help you connect with churches that God may be leading you to. You can add your resume here at the site. You can email me at toddrhoades@gmail.com. Be happy to answer any of your questions. Matter of fact, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. We want to help God as much as we can to get the right people in the right place at the right time. That's what we're here for. So thanks for joining me again here on ChurchJobs.tv. Next time.